The first alarm clock in history could only ring at 4 in the morning, no exceptions. If you wanted to wake up later, too bad. It was built in 1787 by Levi Hutchins, a clockmaker from New Hampshire, who decided that his idea of early should be everyone's. That single-purpose alarm captures something deeply human, the desire to control time and the constant urge to rebel against it. Today, we're taking a trip through history to understand how humanity went from following the sun to fighting their own clocks. For most of human history, time wasn't something people measured. It was something they noticed. The sun rose, they worked. The sun set, they stopped. If it was dark, it was simply too late to do anything useful. Simple, predictable, and beautifully inefficient. Ancient civilizations turned nature's patterns into calendars. Egyptians used sundials, measuring shadows as they moved across the sand. Babylonians built water clocks, clepsydras, while the Greeks perfected hourglasses that captured time as flowing sand. But time was still local. Noon in one city could mean late morning in another, and no one really cared until trains arrived. The invention of the railway forced humanity to synchronize. Suddenly, being on time became a matter of survival, or at least, of catching your train. By the late 1800s, towns began adopting standard time zones, marking the first moment in history when the planet agreed on what now meant. Centuries earlier, around the 13th century, Europe saw the birth of mechanical clocks. They were massive, noisy, and not very accurate, but they introduced something revolutionary, a shared sense of rhythm. The clock towers and church bells told entire towns when to wake, work, pray, and rest. For monks, time was sacred. For everyone else, it was suddenly scheduled. If you lived near a monastery, congratulations, your alarm clock was divine intervention, ringing before dawn. Time was no longer an observation of nature. It had become a system of control. Every bell that echoed through medieval cities reminded people that their days now belonged to the ticking of gears. By the 19th century, clocks had shrunk from towers to pockets. The Industrial Revolution transformed punctuality into a moral value. Being late wasn't just inconvenient, it was irresponsible. Workers carried pocket watches, homes filled with ticking reminders, and factory lights demanded precision. To keep the system running, some cities even hired knocker-uppers, people who walked around before dawn, tapping on bedroom windows with sticks to wake workers up. A human alarm clock, reliable but not exactly subtle. Eventually, mechanical alarm clocks took over, becoming symbols of discipline and progress and the source of new anxiety. Humanity had mastered timekeeping, but couldn't stop watching the clock. Then came 1956, when General Electric introduced a small but world-changing innovation, the snooze button. For the first time, humans could officially negotiate with time. The button gave you 9 extra minutes of rest, not 10, because of mechanical limitations. The gears of the day couldn't handle a clean number. And when digital clocks replaced gears with circuits, they kept the 9-minute snooze out of habit. Laziness had become a legacy feature. The snooze button turned out to be the perfect human invention. Practical, slightly irrational, and universally abused. It represented a new philosophy. If you can't control time, at least delay it a little. Science, however, wasn't impressed. When you drift back to sleep after hitting snooze, your brain starts a new sleep cycle. That's interrupted minutes later, leaving you more tired than before. Still, studies show that over 60% of people hit the button every day. Why? Because that tiny delay offers a comforting illusion of control. You can't stop the day from starting, but you can pretend to. For 9 peaceful minutes. Sleep researchers call it micro-procrastination, a small rebellion against the rigid schedules we've built for ourselves. It's both self-sabotage and self-care, depending on who you ask. In a way, the snooze button isn't just about sleep. It's about the eternal human wish to slow things down, even when we know we can't. Think about it. Humans built clocks to organize life, alarms to obey those clocks, and snooze buttons to ignore them. Every step forward in timekeeping came with an equally creative way to escape it. Even today, smartwatches count every heartbeat and every minute of rest, yet people still wake up exhausted, scrolling through time as if it were infinite. Maybe that's the real story of time. Not how humans learn to measure it, but how they keep trying to escape it. In the end, they invented hours to control their days, and the snooze button to keep dreaming anyway. Entry 19,011. Humanity continues to measure eternity in 9-minute intervals.